All right. Good morning, everybody. Great to see you. Nicholas Ashbaugh here. Let's check in on Apollo. He's doing well. Great to see you. And just a quick reminder that this is going to be a weekly collective reading, meaning that everybody that showed up today is welcome. And that the way that this weekly collective works is we have a chance here to cover a lot of different topics. You guys picked our special topic today, which is breakthrough. Any sort of energetic blocks in your life, kind of like the wave. I like to look at that as an empowered tower card. So this is a moment for you really to make a splash in the best possible ways. Let me just turn down the volume here on the side here and we will begin. You can see we have another foggy day here in Los Angeles. I'm definitely feeling the fall weather, and I think it's kind of cool and perfect setting here for this, this reading today. So anyway, welcome everybody. We're going to begin, as always, with channeled messages. Channeled messages, of course, come straight from Spirit, and I receive many of them through dreams and meditation. And so there was a lot of things that were coming through this week. One thing that was it was really interesting. It came through just the day before, actually Saturday. I got this for the collective. I got the energy of a parent that was having difficulty in letting go of their children. So what happened to my little kid is what they said, like my little boy or my little girl. And meanwhile, I saw this fully realized adult feeling kind of stuck like this, and it perfectly aligned with what we're talking about today, removing blocks. Sometimes there are people in our life that have a difficult time celebrating and recognizing the growth trajectory that we've taken. And they want to keep us in this little corner, this little tiny part of our life that really no longer resonates. And I mean, the correct answer there to that question is, you know, I've grown up, I'm happy. You should be happy that I'm happy. There should be no sense of sadness or despair for somebody who's living their own best life, right? So I think that I guess maybe some of you need permission to simply be allowed to move up, to move on, to move out. And if there's anyone in your life that's kind of trying to keep you stuck in that energy of childhood, then this is you being allowed to move beyond that. Another thing, there was a lot of familial pressure that came through, and this is interesting. It was pressure to begin a family, or expectations, or fear about this, or whatever. And honestly, it's nobody's business but your own, whether you decide to be single and happy, or partnered and no child, or partnered and a child, or single and a child. Like, there's no right combination here. This is your choice. And societal pressures tend to creep in at the worst time. So I got basically a parent looking at a child, wishing that they would stay a child. Then I saw people pressuring someone to be in a role of a parent, whether or not that actually felt right for them. And in both situations, I didn't get any sense of, like I felt like the person was exactly where they needed to be. So whatever your decision is in those two things, it's your life, folks. Do what you need to do and remind people to mind their own business, right? Okay, the other thing that was interesting here was stepping away from a job situation. And I also felt that there was kind of like a familial energy in this as well, but it could just be a place where you really feel close and connected, but maybe you've outgrown the experience. And so it was kind of a rebellious thing but also a very natural thing where it's like, I have to do my own thing. So there was a lot of individual energy coming through, wanting to sort of, and when I say being an individual, it can be just the smallest things sometimes, like, no, this is who I am. No, this is what I want to do. It doesn't mean that you're a rebel necessarily, although some people may view it as that. And I really feel like the last piece was just creating some space in your life to figure out what's next. Now, I have a message for students, too, before we get into the main reading, which was go beyond. I mean, this is kind of symbolic. So sometimes my guides will give me things where it's for all of us, but go beyond the required reading. And what I mean with this is if you're trying to get ready for a meeting, an appointment, an experience, there's always like the suggested reading list, right, when you're in school. But then there's things outside of that. And what I got was that other people would be going beyond the reading list, or that if you go beyond the reading list, that people are going to appreciate that you've gone the extra mile. So for a job interview, this could simply be researching challenges that they have, some things that are in development or whatever. So you go to the interview and you're like, yeah, I saw this, but I also read about this. I'd like to learn more. So that kind of stuff. And then also just in your life, we don't read as much anymore, right? So this is encouraging you to get inspired. And it can be also through audiobooks or podcasts, but I was shown books. So there's something about doing the extra mile, even if it is just picking up one extra piece of research and kind of digging through it, it's going to set you apart from other people. So students and job seekers, that may help you out. And that was the specific message that I got. Okay. So actually, because of the topic that you chose, and I went to sleep not really knowing what it would be, because we had a couple that were vying for the top, I got very specific messages because those could all constitute blocks in your life, right? All right, let's get started. We're going to be using some new decks today. I'm going to save them for the 7-day forecast, which we'll be doing here in just a moment, and the special topic. So I think a lot of you like this one, When Women Had Wings, so I may use that for the special topic, and I might use Curious Travels Tarot deck for this portion, the 7 days. And by the way, members, if you haven't checked out the post where I did the deck review and unboxing, there's a coupon code for now. I don't know how many are left, but for 20% off if you like these. So there you go. All right, let me get set up here and let's begin. All right. All right, so close your eyes if you will, and let's welcome in angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, clear any of our own thoughts or confusion from this reading, allowing for whatever needs to come through, and let's look at the next 7 days. Again, this is for everybody that's present today. We will have an elemental breakdown, and that portion will be the only piece that is sign specific. All right, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. Let's get everything set up. I think this is a beautiful deck here. We're going to begin here with the energy for today, which is 9 of Cups. And this is really saying to have some fun and enjoy the moment here, something that we sometimes don't do. One of our divine rights, if you will, is to experience love, joy, and happiness in this lifetime. In fact, when we're in the frequency of love, things just come to us a little bit easier. And so this is reminding you in this very moment to really take a moment and celebrate the success that you've created in your life. Now, as we can see with this, even though this is an upright card, these cups are reversed, which can show sometimes there are extremes, even in happy moments. So have you ever noticed happy tears? That's kind of what this reminds me of, where you're just on the precipice or maybe just in the moment of accomplishing something, and it's so overwhelming because there was a part of you that thought, I'm never going to do this. And then when you meet your dream face to face, it kind of blows your mind, right? And that's what we have here is that energy of your dream being fulfilled. This is the wish fulfillment card. And then disbelief plus celebration plus, wow, like just surprise. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, folks, it's okay. If you're feeling a mix of feelings, this is normalizing that. It's saying, breathe, let it out. I mean, these cups are released. Again, upright, but it's got cards, it has the cups in reverse, which is saying you need this release. So kind of like revel and relish in that sort of energy for a second. There may also just be a lot going on in your life, and your body may kind of force you to take it easy. So, if you're just feeling overwhelmed today, I think be gentle with yourself. If you are bored, do something that connects you to the energy of celebration and joy. If you're feeling a combination of feelings, ground yourself. This is one card away from love and success and partnership, the 10 of Cups. So you need to kind of get your head on straight today, whatever you need to do in order to do that. I believe for the daily card, we can marry this. We got the Queen of Wands, was it? So she comes through to tell you to basically, figure out how to sort out things in your life and kind of like be the boss of yourself today. Rather than worrying about everybody else, what everyone else thinks, what everyone else needs, really focus on that for you. All right, let me take a drink here, and then we're going to move on to Monday. I'm nursing a little bit of a sore throat today, so apologies if I have to take more than one drink. All right, we have the Magician on Monday, and this is basically reminding you to focus. The Magician is one of the most powerful cards in the major arcana because it has one of every element, one of every tool, and it's really just an opportunity to be discerning and to really decide, I want this, or I choose this, or I choose that. And as long as you are clear on what it is that you're choosing, we start to see some great energy coming through over the course of the rest of the week. We have an Ace on Tuesday. We have Two of Wands, which is visionary work, on Wednesday. We have the Ten of Cups, which we were working up to here. And so like 3 really, really bright days, but it's all hinging on your ability to focus and what? Believe. Faith and belief are really big tenets to the Magician card, okay? This is a good day for meditation, for spiritual work, for creative energy to flow through you, and basically just to get things started, okay? And it does have the number 1. It's very much like an ace. Second card in the major arcana because the Fool has 0, but this is getting things moving, and that's my main advice on Monday is focus, believe, and get things started. Then we see the action rolling into Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have the Ace of Swords here, and this is really about saying, I want this, or I'm doing this, or you're communicating your ideas in a written form, or putting together a proposal, having an important meeting or a conversation, or just feeling really inspired. But there's a slight difference. The Ace of Wands is more about that inspiration. The Ace of Swords is more about following through. So I definitely get that you want to follow up, follow through, articulate, somehow breathe life into things, particularly with your communication and action, okay? And don't be afraid to reach out for something and say, I want this, or I need more information, or whatever it is that you want to do. We see in this deck not the ace being presented to you, but you grabbing the ace. There is a subtle difference between this and the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, okay? All right, great day for writing, editing, and also revising any sort of contracts. Looking at the middle of the week, I love that there's a swing here, and she's holding either a crystal ball or an egg. The egg keeps coming through in all of the cards as I'm looking at stuff for the next few days here. It came through in the daily card because I think the Queen of Wands had it in her staff. Here we have something hatching or taking root here on Tuesday. So the traditional Two of Wands has someone that is looking at the globe. They literally have a world of opportunities right there in their hands. So now she's deciding, what do I want to do with this? When do I want this to happen? It's really kind of like not if, but when. And this is really the deciding of the when. It's like spinning the globe, putting your finger on it and saying here and at this time and in this way. Suffice it to say, dreaming and planning is what you should be focusing on Wednesday. The Power of 2 is in this card, so partnership is also advisable. I think it's great. All right. What else is going on here? Okay, so the swinging energy, this reminds me of having some fun as a kid, but look at what's going on here. I'm just noticing that her shoelaces are tied to the tree. This connects with what I was talking about with parents sometimes wanting to keep us tied or stuck in a moment, right? And so if there's someone in your life that kind of wants to, keep you in a certain job, in a certain situation, in a certain way, and you're just saying, I'm not that person anymore. I've grown up. I've grown beyond this, right? So this is just, again, permission to take that next step and move in that next direction. Absolutely. All right, things are looking wonderful here as we're looking at Thursday. So on Thursday, we have Ten of Cups energy. This is a great day for connecting with other people. If you're looking to further a relationship or deepen an existing sort of connection, absolutely. If you've met somebody new and are looking for a day to hang out, this is the day. Friends, family, loved ones, and again, both new and existing relationships can flourish under the Ten of Cups. The one thing to be mindful of in this card is, of course, that familial energy that can put pressure on you may be coming through a little bit stronger on this day. So it's going to be very important for you to have good boundaries in your life and say, when enough is enough, basically, okay? I love all the stars that are kind of in this card as well. I like to remind people that there's room for more than one star in a relationship, like twin star energy. So your light doesn't have to diminish someone else's. In fact, it can enhance it. Like attracts like. So for many of you, you may also be finding someone that just gets what you are doing and is in the same sort of energetic flow as you. So I like that. All right, looking at Friday, we have Four of Cups. So we had 3 stellar days in the middle of the week. Now we have a tricky card again. And this one is about perspective. This person is looking at what's in front of them. You can see that. Meanwhile, I always mention it's a hidden opportunity, something that could be missed sometimes in the Four of Cups. So we have the Ace kind of floating in the background, making it Four of Cups. But this person is focusing on 3, which can be gossip, which can be rumors, which can also be like things that didn't work out or comparing yourself to others. So tune it all out. Go within and really take a moment to also look around, because there may be a bigger opportunity that's knocking. Sometimes, and by the way, we're looking at Friday. Sometimes we're in exactly the right place at exactly the right time, but we feel, because of our own internal pressure, like, I should be doing this, or that person's doing that. And this card is saying, what good is all of this stuff? What is it really bringing you, right? And it's interesting that it comes on the heels of the family stuff, right here. And so this is saying, that's your truth, that's your life, that's your path. It's not necessarily mine. And that's not necessarily good or bad. It's just who I am. It's where I'm at, okay? Focus on the options and the alternatives and the opportunities around you. There's more than meets the eye. That's the takeaway on Friday. Dig a little deeper. We have a big shifting, changing energy coming through on Saturday, the Death card. The interesting thing with death, you can look at it in so many different, myriad ways actually. But I like to sometimes look at the reapers reaping the rewards, right? It's not just like the reapers coming. It's like harvest time, right? So if you've worked really hard to create something in your life, this is a moment where it comes to fruition. That changes you, that opens a new door, and then that necessitates more change on top of that. And that's really what I get with this death energy. And the whole thing that you wanted me to focus on today was breaking through any of those sorts of challenges in your life. So I'm going to focus on a quick comment here on the side. So anyway, what you can really do in this moment in time is ease into change and experiencing new things. Allow yourself to try something new. Don't panic if you're sort of in this moment thinking, how did I end up here? What's going on? This is exactly where you need to be, and it's okay. You're going to be fine. Just kind of ease into that change and allow it to happen, all right? By the way, thanks to Dakota and anybody that was mentioning that this was unlisted. If you can't tell, I have a cold today. So I'm pushing through all of that, and that's why the time was different. That was unlisted. I'm here for you guys, but I'm definitely, pushing through some stuff myself. So thank you for being patient. It should be public now, okay? The other thing here is if there's any stagnation in your life, it's time to move away from the stagnation, okay? So allow yourself to go in a new direction, to try something different, and not to resist necessary change in your life. Looking at the energy of a week from today on Sunday, here's what we've got. Okay, so Sunday, we have Four of Wands energy coming through. And basically, this is one that I saw when I initially reviewed the deck. The 2 Bs here strike me as really, really interesting. Normally on the Four of Wands, you would see kind of like a setup for partnership. The Four of Wands, it's like a stage where 2 people will come through. What we see here is the work, the busy work that is required for preparation of something. This could be a party, an event, something that you really, really care about. And this is saying, even if they're not there yet, keep doing the work, okay? It is a great day for partnership. If you have 2 this week ahead here that are ideal for love and relation, actually 3. So this is the sort of chemistry that you feel when you meet someone new or when you embark on something that really feels amazing to you. This is the larger group that attracts, but this is a partnership that can really last the test of time. Keep working on yourself, keep setting the stage, and the power in numbers is the other thing that I see this week. I feel like definitely on these 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, you can really take advantage of working with more than one person, delegate, lean on others. All of that is going to be important, okay? All right. And finally, this is a day where you can hang out with people that you love the most. Best friends, siblings, just people in your life that really bring that sense of joy, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and look at highlights and challenges for the week ahead, and then we'll move on to the elements. I think the most challenging day for some of you could be today, a mix of emotions and a need to get your feet on the ground. That's the important thing. So hopefully you're able to find that. And again, I've given you some techniques which can literally just be kind of working with other people. And if you do that, I think you'll be in a good space. I think the other challenge could be on Saturday, because when you face your dream or when you face a change, it's the most overwhelming moment sometimes. The rest of the week is very manageable, folks. And I think that you have really 4 powerful days here. The beginning of it is amazing. Magician, Ace of Swords, 2 of Wands, and 10 of Cups. All of these are like the best cards you could ask for. And even this 4 of Wands, it's mostly like 75 to 80% great cards, 2 challenging cards. You can do this, all right? Let's get ready for the elements and, not meditation. The elemental breakdown is going to help you basically fine-tune a little bit into fire, earth, air, and water. This is the only part of the reading that is specific to those signs. Everything else is for everybody that's present. All right, I'm going to use an existing deck for this one, and we'll tune in. All right. Again, thanks to those who pointed it out that I needed to put it on public. I'm always here for you guys, even when I'm not 100%. My intuition's here, but my body is a little tired. So thank you for, and my sometimes just my proofing skills are off. So I'm just being present as an intuitive today. I appreciate your support. All right, let's tune in here. And I'm going to make sure that we get every element here. So fire, earth, air, and water. Okay. Starting off with the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It's time to come out of your shell. We have the Hermit in reverse. This does connect with do more than the required reading portion. So if you are researching a purchase, for instance, I hadn't even thought of it in this light, but looking at a house or a big ticket item, look at all the reviews. If you're buying furniture, measure all the corners. I recently did something like this where I'm like, it's too high. I can't do that. So sometimes we have to kind of like go one extra step in your preparation and then go for it. But for everyone else, it's about stepping out of hermit mode, which sometimes is protection and holding yourself back from, being able to be there for other people and to mix and to mingle. There was a lot of energy this week that really is encouraging you to get out there and connect. So I know it's not everybody's comfort level. Just like some people are more comfortable in public speaking than others. But Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you can gain a lot by allowing people to see you, to know you, and also to reap the rewards of your knowledge, because this is a learned and experienced card, okay? All right, so that was for all of the fire signs. We're going to move on to earth signs next. Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It's a great week for you. We have the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands is a double-edged, even though we're looking at wands, not swords, but it is double-edged card, because on one level and on one note, you're really headed in the right direction, right? But on the other note, you might be feeling the weight of success or the pressure to continue to constantly produce the same thing or to continue to do everything at once. So this is about realizing that you're not a machine, that you're not, you have to take breaks, right? So delegate. Delegation is the main thing here. Pick and choose. You can choose to do a little bit here, and then you're going to have to do a little less there. So know your limits, observe the limits, and then let go. Some of you may be traveling this week. You may be required to do a little bit of distance work, so telecommuting, or in this case, it would be like a Zoom call or something like that, and navigating distances and managing pressure. But ultimately, this is a card of graduating, being successful. And we had the death card this week. This is connected to that. So this person is passing just beyond. So the rainbow in this card represents the space from one thing to another. And I told you I get a very positive energy with this death angel. I feel like it is reaping the rewards of the hard work. And so you're reaping the rewards, but you're headed into the unknown. Or you're into something that you have to make more decisions about. So that is something to celebrate. I'm also normalizing that it could also be a little bit overwhelming. But anybody that's doing manual labor or moving or anything with lifting things, be careful. This can show lower back pain. Not as bad as 10 of Swords, but it can be like a pulled muscle or strain, so be mindful of that. We did fire and earth. Let's move to the air signs. Air signs, clearing your mind. We have the 7 of Cups. It's in reverse. Literally, this is reading tea leaves. There may be someone in your life that feels like they need to get out a deck of cards or read tea leaves to understand you, or vice versa. You could be listening to a teacher, a friend, a boss, and you're like, what did that mean? I don't understand. In that very moment, ask, I'm not clear. Or what, if you want, I mean, it's actually more empowering to say, that wasn't clear to me. Don't say, I don't understand, you can just say, can you break it down into something that's a little bit more understandable? Because that's also letting them know that they're kind of rambling. And there are people out there that just go from one thing to another. And you can say, even in a positive way, say, I love all of these ideas. What's the focal point, though? What can I do for you? It reminds me of on Schitt's Creek where David's character, Patrick, was his partner, but he was like, I love all these words. They're very snazzy. What's this shop about? It was when he was opening his apothecary. So sometimes we just need someone to help us get organized. Maybe you need to talk to someone as well to help you, like a project manager or a friend, or you just need to scribble some things out. Because what I'm seeing here is great ideas, but a lack of clarity, and there's no like clear line of action. So as a fellow air sign, I understand sometimes we need to look at it all, but really focus in on what you're trying to say and try not to confuse yourself or others. If you haven't given yourself a chance to dream or to brainstorm, the 7 of Cups is reminding you of the crucial importance of doing just that. Because if we are constantly going from one thing to another, we're never really being present in the moment. And so give yourself a chance to dream a little bit. And we had a card connected with that in the middle of the week here. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it was the Wednesday card, which was the 2 of Wands. So midweek is a great day to dream, but by the end of the week, you should know where you're headed. All right? Okay, let's move on. So that's everything for air. Overall, I like 7 of Cups, but it is a very ungrounded card. It's usually the card, they're floating in the air. So anything you can do to bring it down to earth and create a clear line to move from. Moving on to water, perfectly connected to all my water signs out there, Knight of Cups. I love this one because of, we talked before that he's receiving, right? You can see the cup. I'll get closer. You can see the cup, the water, and it's actually flowing all the way through, even on his cape, right? One of the things that this is opening you up to is love. So some of you are opening your heart up. You're opening yourself up to receive love. It's also strategic because we see him on a chess or checkers board. So being strategic about how to have some more fun, allowing love and joy to come into your life, and also just letting things be. Whatever needs to be, let it be. We can't control others. We can't sometimes even control our own heart's feelings. You either love it or you don't. You either feel it or you don't. The connection, folks, is everything in this moment in time. Just like we saw, though, some of my water signs out there may be having a really intense day whenever you watch this, but especially on Sunday. This is a really unique 9 of Cups because it's upright, but the cups are reversed. So let it go, let it flow, let it be. All of those sort of statements apply to this. You can look at his hat and it looks like Hermes or Mercury's wings. So there could also be just some good news. And again, it opens up your heart. Great week for partnership, great week for creative endeavors. And this is just reminding you to stay open to the possibilities. I like it. And I love that we got all the elements organized here, so yay for that. Okay, let's move on to the special topic next. And again, today's special topic was, let me just go to the monitor on the side here, breaking through your biggest, and I did put biggest energetic blocks. So I'm going to look at things that could hold you back, and we're going to look at how, if we need to pull a clarifying card on this because it is special, we'll do that. We're going to see how you can move beyond it. So let me get everything organized here, and we'll begin. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully well. I'm glad you made some time in your schedule to be present today. I appreciate you guys. All right, so that was a new deck here. Curious Travels, if you like it, you can also check out the review that I did on that. But we had a chance there to see it in action, and as I predicted, it's pretty cool. So this is another new one, When Women Had Wings. Many of you expressed interest in having me use it for the Weekend Collective, so I'm doing just that. Always good to play around with some new decks. All right, let me adjust my camera settings here and then we'll get started. The fog is beautiful, but it does make for challenges when I'm doing my readings. All right, close your eyes for a moment and let's pull in, again, angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, and imagine that there's a clear sky behind you, that you're looking up into that sky, seeing a world of possibilities. All right, folks, let's begin. This, again, is for everybody that's present today. And this is trying to help us move beyond blocks in our life. Isn't it interesting? Right off the bat, we have the Seven of Cups coming through. So it's not just the air signs, folks. Everybody this particular week can benefit from clearing things up in their mind, getting clear on what they want. All right, let's get started here. I mentioned this week when we had the Ace of Swords coming through that your own communication skills are really important. And we see here in the catalyst position just that. And I forgot to highlight that we're looking at the catalyst here. So for some of you, this could be a letter that has yet to be sent. It's sitting in your outbox or as a draft. Or maybe it's a postal letter that you've just not put out into the post. So say what you need to say. I like the idea that you're not going to send a first draft. Absolutely. Always allow yourself time to really collect your thoughts, think through this, and after one or two revisions, send it out. Because I do feel like if you keep holding on to it, there could be feelings of fear, regret, or uncertainty that result. And so it's really important to choose your words well, but eventually let it go, folks. It's time, okay? So the letter kicking things off here. And if you're too focused on being perfect in the elocution or execution of the words, that can sometimes hold you back. Less is more. Simplicity is so underrated sometimes, and I think it's important just to keep it simple. One of my best, this would have been in high school, but an English teacher just said, using big words doesn't make you smarter, especially if you can't use them correctly. So better to communicate to a wider audience more effectively by using more clear language. There's a time and a place for certain vocabulary words, but throwing them out there just to confuse people or to sound important isn't it. And if you worry about what you're saying, what matters more is kindness, authenticity, love. And you don't need a lot of words to express that. 3 words, I love you. Those are some of the most powerful words in the language, just like I hate you. We don't need a lot. You just basically have 2 people and then a verb in the middle that's telling you how you feel. So less is more sometimes, folks, okay? And I feel like it's important not to get blocked over trying to sound or project a certain way of being. Just be yourself, okay? We see this a lot of times in music. It's just as important to have good composition, good beat, things of that nature, as it is to, have words that are interesting. Okay, we talked about this, but it's coming back, so let's talk again. We have 7 of Cups energy right at the center, clarity, organization, and ideas as well. So I think just effectively communicating. Again, less is more. Showing can also be a great way of telling. Brings me back to what was that? Something in school, probably like kindergarten, show and tell. And that was kind of it. It teaches you this is what it is, and now I'm going to articulate a few things. So use visual aids to your advantage if you need to. I haven't thought of show and tell for for a long, long time. And again, giving yourself a chance to explore all the options. Don't limit the possibilities until you've had a chance to look and see what they might be. We have 3 of Cups energy right on top of this. And it's interesting because that 3rd cup she's balancing here on her foot. So you may have a really, really busy social calendar this week, a lot of invitations or a lot of opportunities to connect. Do your best not to overstretch yourself. There is a moderation that's missing in 3 of Cups and 9 of Cups. Since you got both this week, I think it's really important to realize that less is more. So focusing on people that you really feel a connection with, and not getting in your headspace too much about trying to be popular or please everyone. Just have some fun and be in the moment. And I think that is really, really key in this moment in time. All right, looking at what's coming through in the deep past here, we have the Ace of Wands. So reconnecting to things that make you feel passionate. One of the other topics which didn't make it was take your passion and make it happen, a nod to the theme to Flashdance. What a Feeling is the name of the song. But Ace of Wands, this is really encouraging you to do a little bit of that, which is, what is it that makes you feel excited, passionate, optimistic, connected, curious? What wakes you up in the morning or at night thinking, I need to do this, I need to know? I really want you to put a little bit of energy into that. Kindle the flame. We also see vitality. So this could be a block. It's in the deep past, and we saw some of the things that could be taking you out of your vitality could be overthinking or not having a lot of organization when it comes what to do next, okay? Overall, though, this is a good card, and it's just saying, what are you going to do to follow through? Normally, with wands, sometimes you see fires, sometimes you don't. This torch needs to be ignited. An idea, an ace, is just potential until you spark the flame or fan the flame. So what are you going to do to take it to the next level? And that's the great connection to the next card here with the 6 of Swords. Move the needle forward. Move on. Move to the next energy. So I also mentioned that feeling of being stuck in time, stuck in the past. Or someone wanting you to remain, a child. And sometimes it can be a grandparent, aunt, parent, or teacher, but whatever happened to my little kid? what happens to everybody? We grow up, and that is a good thing, and it shouldn't be something that you're afraid to do. And take the first step. You can do this, even if someone in your life tries to inject fear, like, what are you going to do? Leave me? This can be like a roommate too. It can be a parent, a roommate, a boss. Bosses manipulate in this way too. What am I going to do without you? What you did before I was here. You'll be okay. Don't let that weight weigh too heavily on you. Explore it. You owe it to yourself to see what's out there. Moving up, moving on, moving out, exploring. All of that energy is comprised within the Six of Swords. Don't be afraid. Pay no mind to people that are trying to keep you stuck in time. In the crowning position, we have success. So 2 sixes right next to each other. 6 of Wands in reverse. This is you setting the parameters for your own success and realizing that not only is success subjective, but sometimes it's overrated. It's the journey to that moment that can be just as fulfilling. So don't focus so much on if you got the gold star, if you got a 4.0, if you got into the school that you wanted, if you're in the popular crowd, if you're meeting all of your expectations. Each and every day is a step either toward or after that success moment. So that's usually just one moment in time. Live your life to the fullest every day. Remember, you don't have to have the pressure to keep doing the same old, same old. Allow yourself to explore and try new things. Success is there. But do you see it? Do you realize it? Because we did get that calibration card that I saw earlier today, where some of you might be focusing over here, and there's an ace that wants to come in. So we do see the ability in this week to go from the Ace of Wands here in the deep past to the Knight of Wands in the near future, and that's good. We like that. So this is basically showing up. As I said, it's interesting that they chose to have no horse and no knight in this Knight card. So to me, that is sort of encouraging you again to show up every day and consistently. There may be consistency that is missing in this moment in time. So if you're going to do something, do it every day. It's like learning to sing or play an instrument. You're not going to sound great at the beginning, and anything actually, writing, whatever your craft is, the first thing you do, not usually the best, but over time things get better. So work your craft. And it is a spiritual practice. So practice is what's necessary to not necessarily perfect it, but to get to an area of proficiency. So it really should be, instead of practice makes perfect, practice yields proficiency. That way there's no pressure to be perfect, okay? So there could also be incoming ideas, incoming opportunities, good news, because knights can be approaching you as well. Fight for things that you care about. Absolutely. All of that is connected to this as well. You are in the energy of creation this week. I'm going to have to pull the blind a little bit because as the sun is so bright today. There we go. That's better. So you're in the energy of creation today. And again, it's important to lean into the possibilities. So I love that she's looking inward. She's not focusing just on what's obvious. This is a time where you really want to do that and reconnect to your hopefully your clear idea, because that's why at the center we had the 7 of Cups here. Clarity is the most important thing here. So we'll look at all the blocks in a moment, but so far it's not bad. I'm seeing the main blocks as being following through and consistently showing up. That's manageable. I'm seeing another block here being people in your life that won't let you explore. And so in that case, you just have to push. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and follow through and follow up on that intuition as well. All right, let's look at the environment here. The Ace of Swords in the reverse state, editing, revising, allowing yourself to change course or change your mind. So when you're a child, I love that we're asked as a kid, what do you want to do when you grow up? But when we grow up, we're never asked, what do you want to do next? Or there's no equivalent to that. You feel sometimes like you're stuck because you invested time and energy and got a degree, or you've been working X amount of time in this, whatever. When it comes to your career or your life path, it's constant. You're always growing up. You're still growing up now when you're watching this. So I'm going to ask you, what do you want to do next? What do you want to do when you grow up to the next stage? Revise, edit, clarify that as necessary. and give yourself permission to continue to grow and to continue to change, because you're allowed to do that, even if people make you feel that you're not. Constructive criticism is good, but just criticism for the sake of being critical, not so good. So this is important for you to basically be kind to yourself here. I love that we have knights following aces. Now this one is grounding an idea again. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, again, no person, no horse. So it feels to me like there might have been a lot of planning work, but now there's more work than there are people, and there's more things than there is time. So what's necessary is discernment and choice. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do this to this level. I'm going to ask for help here. This is just going to go to the side for now. You have to kind of create a master plan and basically be the person that's organizing this. Knight of Pentacles, it's an opportunity. So there's a potential for something to take off and provide a lot of resources, but the discernment, the organization, that boss energy that we just talked about, that's what's going to yield the Knight of Pentacles for you, okay? Lo and behold, we're ending on the same energy that this week was starting on, Monday. We have the Magician coming through. In this one, he seems very focused. He's holding his magic wand and he's ready to move forward. So clarity, confidence, really clarity and confidence. We don't need three. Those are the two things that can either lift you up or hold you down. So are you clear? Do you feel confident in what you need to do? I would say some of the lesser things to focus on this week are organization, and then simply being able to say no to some things so that you can really focus on what matters most. Let's continue to dig into this, and we're going to look specifically for the potential blocks as we look at the oracle cards in the expanded forecast. We're going into health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off with health, mind, body, and spirit. The oracle card in health is seek the truest self, and we see someone letting go of a mask. So again, there could be a sometimes, especially now on social media, there's a fear or a desire or a need to push out that everything's okay all of the time. It isn't always okay all of the time. And it's okay to not be okay all of the time. So if you're having a bad day or if things aren't all right, you don't have to put on a happy face. And spiritually, sometimes it's better to be authentic, which is why I was like, I have a cold today. So be kind and be understanding if not everything is perfect. I think it's good to be authentic and show where you're at in the moment. So let people know if you need help. Don't feel like you have to hide things. And this is true of pain or discomfort or anything. And there's a lot going on in the world right now, everywhere, on every level. We don't have to get into specifics. So I think the first and biggest block could be emotional, feeling overwhelmed, feeling sad, and putting too much weight on your shoulders. Because we did have that 10 of Wands pushing the person down, even though it was a liminal card that was connecting them to the possibilities. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. So I love everything about this, but sometimes it's scary to reach into the unknown. Sometimes that's a lot of pressure. So give yourself time, give yourself space, and know that you don't have to do this alone. All right, let me take another drink, and then let's continue to look at this from an energy perspective. Standard disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. If anything's going on in your body, seek the necessary assistance. But energy does affect our body, so let's see where it might be popping up. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. First of all, it's so important this week to meditate. Meditation does not have to be many hours. It does not have to be super structured. Here are some different ways that you can connect to meditation. You can listen to music, close your eyes, and just allow yourself to go somewhere else. That's what a song is. It's a form of creative energy, and you're connecting to something that's not your own reality, right? The other thing is reading a book can allow you to go somewhere else. Sleep is meditation. Literally, we close our eyes, we turn off, we go somewhere else. So you can take a nap, and that's a form of meditation. walking the dog or taking a hike, putting the phone in your pocket, putting the ear pods away, and just looking at what's around you. I want you to get unplugged from work and social media and stuff like that. Plug into something else. Yes, also praying and traditional forms of meditation, chanting, etc. But you don't have to do all of that. Just allowing yourself to breathe, tune in, focus on the body, and relax for a moment. That's it. It can be 5 minutes. It can be 1 minute. If you have a really important conversation before picking up the phone or walking into the meeting, take a deep breath and just say, you've got this. I've got this. It's not a big deal. I've prepared for this. I'm ready. Okay, let's do this. Pep talk. That is, you're meditating. You're getting yourself there. So it's not just lotus position. That's one way, but that's not the only way. So explore different ways of taking yourself to a different mental space. Painting, writing, dancing, all of that also is they're forms of creativity which connect us to a meditative process. So just want to help you find other ways. Not everybody likes meditating in the traditional sense. That's okay. Thankfully, there's a lot of different ways to do so. And yeah, I see someone here talking about painting. It's fantastic. Writing, all of the creative processes that are available to you. Really, really good. Okay? All right. Let's see what's next. There's a lot of noise in the head. And so the Seven of Cups can be, I have this little math meme. It's not just this, though. It can be this. Like, what about this? What about this? Sometimes that Seven of Cups energy hits us when our head goes to sleep at night. When we're trying to go to bed, and you're like, did I turn off the coffee machine? What time do I need to get up? When do the kids need to go to school? Did I pay rent? You're asking all these questions, and it's like, no, that's not the time. But the reason it's happening is sleep is meditation, so it's the first time you've slowed down. If you give yourself a couple moments before you go to bed just to sit down, in a chair or at the table or whatever, and just think, did I do everything I need? Do it before you go to bed. You can have this moment of asking, is everything moving where it needs to be moving? But you don't want this to happen exactly as you go to bed, because if it does, it's going to be overwhelming. You don't need that, okay? So giving yourself other times and spaces to get organized, and just getting organized is a great way. So put together a schedule, put together priorities, get that checklist. Then by the time you go to bed, you're not going to need to worry about that. Travel. You may be traveling. There may be someone that you're trying to talk to and they're not in the same time zone. Distance and travel are constituting stress and blocks. So be mindful of that, navigate it to the best of your abilities. Know that you can't control someone else's actions. And I used to work in a company that dealt with multiple time zones, and it's challenging sometimes. Just do your best. I do get there's a lot of movement. So we have, normally these would be 2 horse cards. This is a horse card. And this is a card of movement. So there's at least 3 or 4 days where you might be feeling like you're running around trying to use an old phrase, like a chicken with its head cut off. Your thoughts and actions are separated. I mean, that's a morbid, but also very effective visual. The head is over here, the body's over here. We need to bring the two together. And the only way to do that is what? Meditating and getting organized. So start the day mindfully and intentionally setting sort of an action into the trajectory. So rather than just getting into the car, going to work, doing things, and just think, what do I really want to do in this moment? What do I need to do in this next hour? What's this meeting about? And making an intention, setting an intention, and seeing if that doesn't create more calm and more progress in the week ahead. And simply using the word no. I mean, it's hard, but saying no, I can't, I won't, or I don't want to do that. It's okay. That's your prerogative. Not being overly critical of yourself, thinking things like it never is going to happen. I am, not this enough, not that enough. Instead, speak to the action of possibilities. What if? Why not? And I'm working towards this. I'm working to create progress here, because then it's all about empowerment rather than kind of like deflating your energy or deflating what's happening in your life, okay? Most of it is pretty manageable. We didn't get a Tower. We didn't get a Ten of Swords. Most of this has to do with cognition and like emotions and mental state. So I think if you can pull those together, you'll be all right. And then mostly not pretending to be someone or something that you're not feeling like you have to put this second mask on to make everybody happy. If you're not happy, you have to deal with that first and foremost, okay? All right, let's move on. Let's get into the energy of wealth, which shows all of the possibilities and resources, life purpose, and career. So we have learning coming through here. And I talked about the importance of doing beyond the required reading, really opening yourself up. Part of this is because you may stumble upon something that nobody else has. Everybody keeps going to the same text or the same sources. You're going beyond it, and that opens you up to something that can be groundbreaking. Of course, this can simply be, for some of you, deciding to get a certification, go to school, get training in your life. And so yes to all of that. And it's interesting that we have like 3 different eyes. Normally there would just be a third eye, but this could also be the power in learning when there's multiple people together. It's like brainstorming. So learning and brainstorming in a group, it can help you yield better results than just one person alone. So we're getting that once more. Okay? All right. So let's break this down into 3 major categories. So we're in wealth. We're going to be looking at those that are working, including entrepreneurs. We're going to look at those that are seeking employment. Then we'll look at students and retirees. Starting off with those that have a traditional job, let's see what's going on for you. So the 6 of Swords can indicate that there is travel going on, or that there's someone. It can be a revolving door too. You're trying to reach someone. They're always on the go. They're difficult to come in. There could be new leadership coming in, some sort of movement and change. It does not seem like it's anything to worry about, though. There's a lack of clarity at the beginning here, but we have Aces and Knights, which show me positive movement. So go with the energy of change. Get things in writing this week, though. The most important thing, can get someone's signature when they're present if you need it. Make sure that they understand everything that they're looking at. Make sure you understand everything. But if there's just a handshake saying, I'll do it, no, you need actually that signature on the dotted line, because later you may need to prove that you had this conversation, okay? Revising is necessary. There may be resistance to that revision with the Ace of Swords, but you're going to need to allow enough time for something to be properly vetted, properly revised. And if you don't, it could cause problems down the line. So definitely leave time for proofing, editing, and changes to be made. Managing how much, this is a very, very detailed, very specific thing, but it's coming through. I think it's called change management or something, but project managers do this. So you're going to have to figure out how many things are within scope, and this is where you're getting organized. This is how much we can manage now. If we need more money or more people. So you can communicate that to a larger audience. You can get it. The Magician shows that as long as you can ground it in how that's going to be worth the investment from someone, you can get it. So there's not enough time, energy, or money. Some resources are missing, but they're available. You have to write the proposal, but it looks like you'll get it. So speak to the need, speak to the lack. For everybody else where you're like, I just work a regular job, I don't have those kinds of conversations, here's what I see. It looks like you're treading in the right direction. Maybe 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because the 6 of Wands is reversed and we have movement here. So literally movement with a slight revision, but it's still successful. We still see things heading in the right direction. Trust in your faith and vision, because we have both the Magician and the High Priestess here. This could also be a partnership of 2 creative minds working together. So just trust in what you're receiving. I like the overall energy this week. The only thing here is you might be starting off not knowing what someone said or what you should be focusing on. So clarify that at every necessary stage. Avoid gossip, by the way. 3 of Cups, it's going to get back to source, so you don't want to do that. Okay, looking at any entrepreneurs out there, good word of mouth. This could be Google, Yelp, or online reviews, and they're favorable. There could also be ideas floating around in customer feedback. Make sure that it's so annoying when we get surveys, but send a survey or leave a place where they can drop feedback. Even if it's not publicly visible, you could get something really, really good out of that. And the other thing that I'm seeing again is a chance to adjust prices, and you might be able to increase your revenue by, like, I remember this much from business classes that I took. If you can't keep up with the demand, you probably could increase the price. If you're sold out 100% of the time and you can never keep it in stock, it's too cheap. You either need to increase, you're going to do it on volume. So if you could get the production where there's a lot more coming through, fine. But it's probably still something where you're going to have to charge a little bit more if the demand is that high. Vice versa. If it's collecting cobwebs, it's either not where you should be putting your time and energy, it's priced too high, the marketing isn't effective, or people don't understand what you're trying to sell. So you could clarify marketing if the cobwebs are there, or you can increase prices if you can't keep up with demand. I'm not an economic major, not a math major, but I do remember that, and I am seeing that in the cards, okay? Otherwise, with the Six of Swords, you might be doing some sort of remote event or a seminar or something where you're meeting people face to face. I think that's going to yield positive results as well. Okay, now let's take a look at those that are job seeking. The same sort of energy of hearing something. It's not necessarily word of mouth, but you could communicate that you're looking for something and someone would be like, say that again? I think I might know someone who knows somebody. I think it's like 2 or 3 connections away. They're not the person, but they know the person that can connect you to the person. So if you're looking for something, I'm not talking about posting on social media. This would be an actual conversation with somebody or a text message with them and just saying, hey, would you happen to have some advice on this? And there's a connector out there, someone that can connect you to the right person, okay? So communicate what it is that you need. Six of Swords in the recent past is interesting. You may not have been at the right place at the right time, but you are now. So sometimes I will say what's left in the past is best in the past, not so much here. We have an Ace and a Six of Swords. It looks really compelling to me. And I feel like you can make it happen this time. So try it again. And try it with a different approach with your new learnings, with new experience. So update your resume, talk to someone new. But it is important to try to find a way to talk to a person. But if something was close, you were a final candidate, it didn't work out before, I feel like it could happen this time. So it would be very clear. You would have been either really passionate about it or in the final 2 or 3 and it just didn't work out. We have celebration energy this week. So you might be able to make it happen this time. You may also be successful at a cold application. A cold application is you identifying a need that somebody doesn't recognize, and or just feeling like they might be hiring in a certain position, even if it's not advertised. So if you happen to know someone in human resources at that company, or there is a way to contact them, you can do that. One of the best jobs that I got was a cold application. I just liked the company. I sent a note on New Year's Eve. I heard back like a few days later. I had to fly to the city that the job was in, and then I landed it. And it was not advertised. They just said, oh, wow, yes, we're looking for someone. In fact, we haven't interviewed anybody, but if you want to kick it off this week, they didn't even advertise it after that. I was the first and only candidate, and I opened it up. It was a synchronicity. So you could do a cold application. It is so much harder now because of all the layers of AI and like digital submissions. This was right on the precipice of you could still reach people, but like it was the 2002. And like now we're 22 years beyond that. Like it's not the same. It's harder now. I get it. But there's still, sometimes you can connect with somebody that knows somebody. So try that. See if you feel like there might be an opening somewhere, or if you, this is a little bit of a bleed over from those of you that may be entrepreneurial or independent. You could reach out to former coworkers and clients and say, hey, I have my own company now. This is what I'm doing. It feels like you might benefit from that. Do you want to have a conversation? So that's how that can work. Especially for some of you that might be looking for a job and considering doing something either freelance or entrepreneurial. try something in that capacity. It should be creative, it should be engaging, and it should feel right immediately. We have no less than 2 aces, so I see 2 opportunities. One of the aces has better money. One of them might have some travel, but both of them are good. I have 2 great energies coming through. I think this is a great week to open the door at the very least, okay? Lean on the education piece if you have something to bring to the equation where you feel like your learnings or your knowledge, it isn't just education, but it's like what you know, could help them. All right, so we looked at those that were employed, entrepreneurs, then we looked at those that were job seeking. I do think you can find something, by the way, job seekers, but we have 6. Sometimes this can be 6 days. It could be almost the end of the week before you hear it. But anyway, that's what I'm picking up on. For everybody else, now let's look at students first. Students, clarity. This is important. So the 7 of Cups, again, and I remember that. It's sort of like, especially if it's your first semester or if you're just taking a class that's confusing, you're wondering, how does this apply to the real world? So much of the theory maybe doesn't apply to the real world, but sometimes there's prerequisites. But if you're not clear, ask. It's a good time to lean on the energy of a mentor to get some clarity if necessary. I like your overall spread here, though, because we have 2 cards of creativity and intuition. You have 2 knights, you have 2 aces. Some of you maybe you have like a double minor or something like that, because this doesn't really read double major. I think the main thing here is just to manage your time and energy wisely. But overall, aside from maybe feeling a little overwhelmed or confused at something, the overall trajectory is good. Partnering up is good in classes. So again, teamwork anywhere that you can do that is key, but I like the overall spread here. So it looks good. I would just say keep up the good work and get clarity as necessary, and don't overdo the social stuff, because that can actually cause the mental fog here as well. All right, for retirees. For you, it feels like networking is very important in this moment. Celebrating, connecting, networking. And you're never too old or too young to learn something new. And this does not have to be about like assuming that you are not wanting to go back to work. This is just saying, I want to learn more about this because I'm what? Curious. Because what? It lights my fire and my passion. So this could be deciding to take up a class in pottery, or learning to play an instrument or speak another language, maybe so that you can travel to a distant location. So picking a project or creating something for fun because you can. And you might have a couple of creative activities, and this could connect you to people, by the way, which is a nice segue into the next piece, which is love and relationships. So let's go there. And then I'll tie it all together at the end. I think we're doing there weren't that many blocks actually when I was looking at work this week, so that's good. Let's see if there's any blocks coming through loud and clear in love. So the oracle card for love is this one, Elixir of Life. Okay. So for many of you, this may be the first time in a long time that you've put energy into relationships, and it can be what? It can be intoxicating, because we have a card here with the 3 of Cups that can represent being intoxicated. So try not to lose yourself. Head over heels, or get absorbed or involved in someone else's drama. You really want to be sort of kind to yourself, take time, etc., etc. Okay. Let's break it down, folks. We're going to look at those in a relationship, looking for love, or happily single. So if you are in a current relationship, this is interesting. You could be in the same room, but feel like you're miles away from the partner. You could be having a conversation, but it's not getting through. Less and clearer when it comes to communication is the important thing here. I think something's lacking there. Let me take a drink and we'll dig a little deeper. Okay, so let me see. We're just going to try to look at the existing cards. You know, you're showing up as birds of a feather here with the with the Magician and the High Priestess. And what this can represent is 2 people that think they know best. And sometimes it's meeting in the middle that can be the hard part, because they both can see a lot. But they have but there's not a lot of compromise. There's not a lot of tuning into the other person. They're both tuning into themselves. So empathizing and collaborating and communicating. That's really the main blocks when I'm looking at relationships here. It also has been a minute for some of you since maybe there was a date night. Typically, this can represent intimacy of all levels, including physical, but it is in the past. And we see an opportunity to reconnect with that and have some fun. It could be hanging out with like-minded individuals, maybe going on a double date with another, married couple or whatever, or hanging out with a larger group of people, mixed sort of company, and just having some fun and remembering that you're not just, in a relationship together, but you're also hopefully still connecting with one another and having fun. So putting the fun back in the relationship, putting the intimacy back in the relationship, if it's lacking. I think the things that are pulling you in different directions could be travel for work, could also be traveling to just take care of some things in life and finding a way to meet at the same place at the same time. That's the main challenge here. It's manageable. This is manageable. It's a very manageable spread. Okay, moving on from partners to those that seek partners. You have a lot of options that are coming through. Mostly, we have 2 nights basically, but there's some stuff from the past too. So let's look at the 2 nights and then we'll focus on maybe just getting clearer on things. This night is connected to the Magician. So an earth sign coming in that there's a chemistry with. You do not, maybe it doesn't make sense, maybe you don't want it, maybe you do, but it's undeniable. So when you feel that, you don't need me to read a card. You don't need to look at tea leaves. You know it's there, okay? So if you feel it, honor it. If you don't feel it, honor that. The other person here, I almost get like an Aquarius or Libra energy as I'm looking at this, but there's an air sign coming through, and it's a little unnerving because, one, it feels like they speak from a place of truth and authenticity, but they can see through you. They see through others as well. They're very intuitive. So it may, like, if you're exactly where you need to be and want to be, great. If you're not, it feels vulnerable to be around this person because of their perception. Even if they don't consider themselves intuitive, they are. So that's interesting. I mean, we have 2 psychics here basically in the spread, 2 intuitives, 2 empaths. So it's going to be an intense energy if you connect with somebody this week. Now, the general presenting card here at the center is the 3 of Cups. And this basically is reminding you to just slow down and have some fun. There may be a desire to want to find the one or to just kind of delve headfirst into something. And this card is reminding you to slow down. Wow, I was just looking. I think I saw 888. I saw 777 earlier. It's cool to see the angel numbers as we're reading here. So we're getting like a double hit on that. Just try to be in the moment, enjoy it. But underneath this is clarity. So when manifesting, it's really important for you to be clear on the type of person, not physical. You can just beam out to the universe what your type is, but are you looking for someone who, is independent, ready for a family, communicative? What are your adjectives? What are your attributes for the person? Don't go overboard. Like 5 to 7 is a great starting point. Put them out there and then let it go and allow the universe to fine tune it a little bit. 2 options is manageable, but I also see just a lot of energy with the 7 of Cups and 3 of Cups. So getting a little more organized in what you're trying to accomplish, I think, is key. Okay, if you are single and happy, good for you. You're inspired this week. An ace, a night. So you might be actually juggling 2 different things, 2 different projects, 2 different opportunities. You still may be meeting with people. Creative energy is at an all-time high. And I think that you can get a lot done. And this elixir here, you're almost like drunk in the creative energy. I woke up the other morning with like a title for, if I were to do a second part of my book, I got that. I was like, oh, that's what that is. Sometimes I wake up with just like tons of ideas. It hits me in the morning or early parts of the morning, like 3 in the morning. Write it down like I do. I made sure that I got my phone out, grabbed my glasses and tried to get it as close as possible. Then I put it back. And you may be getting inspiration at the strangest times Go with the creative muse whenever it comes through. Walking a dog, taking a shower, not while you're driving your car. But like there are certain points where you're not supposed to get an idea, but you do. I want you to connect with that and then carry through. Remember, this is a week where you really want to focus on taking it to the next level. That is one of the blocks, just having an ace with no follow through. So because you're not connected to putting as much into relationships, you can now follow through on some of these things and meet maybe like-minded creative people, but it's more about seeing things to fruition. Okay? All right. Let's move on to destiny. It changes from week to week, which is why we check into it. Let's see what your oracle card is. It was reversed, but I'd like to read it upright here. We have the leopard, which is speed. So first thing first, we're getting to slow down. And then it says power, swiftness, and ambition. So we want to temper all of these things. It does not have to be a power struggle. It is not about the first person that gets to the finish line. And if someone is overly ambitious, they may not be the best partner. And even if we're overly ambitious, that may blind us to the possibilities. So this is saying slow down, and you're going to be able to make up for time once you've clarified those 3 points. These are actually your blocks. Focusing too much on a power struggle, rushing, and being too ambitious. So keep it all in check. That made it really easy here for the trajectory. And by the way, these are all new oracle cards. If you do like any of them and you are a member, like I said, there's a discount code. So that's a perk. I don't always have that. Check it out on the member tab. Let's take a look at this and pull it all together. And then we're going to do that'll help me figure out what I want for the big idea. All right. So looking at the whole spread, now that we've gone through this, what's going on here? What can you focus on and take away from this reading so that you are clear? So that's my goal here, is to clear it up and make it simple for you. The first thing is just that. Clarifying your goals, getting organized mentally. And you could do that today, whenever today is, whether it's Monday or it's the day before the next collective. I don't care. You have a chance. Even if you watch this video months later, the main message is get yourself clear today, okay? The next potential block for you is being overly critical or negative, or not allowing yourself to change your mind. Be constructive, that's fine, and you're always allowed to revise, edit, or review. You have to take something and follow through on it. So if it's just sitting there and it's a good idea, it's just that. It's just a good idea. It needs to be taken to the next level, okay? Don't get too caught up in the moment. So we have 2 cards of intoxication, whether it's love or a relationship or a passion project. Things could be kind of getting you out of your focus. Don't feel the need to put on a happy face or a sad face if you're not. Be authentic to your feelings. And everything that we saw here, slow down. There does not have to be a power struggle. And ambition really doesn't, yes, it's good to be ambitious, but don't let that get in the way of being clear on something, okay? Big idea. What's the one thing that you need to focus on for this week ahead to be successful? So why don't we just look at what could be blocking you? King of Swords. Okay. He's a card of action. He's also a card of words. So I want you to take constructive criticism, as just that, but also really be mindful of the inner voice. I have that mantra, I can, I will, I am. Absolutely connect with that. But not just that. I want you to put positive and affirmative thoughts in your mind. I am. Use the I am and then put a positive adjective. I am strong. I am capable. I am successful. I am deserving. I am worthy. All of these things. I'd like you to make yourself a little love note of 5 to 7 things where it's like, I'm all of these things and then some. And I'm ready to receive like-minded connections in my life. Using the power of words and writing to change your trajectory and being affirmative in communication. And if somebody comes through and tries to attack, just say, that's your opinion, that's your truth. It doesn't resonate with me. Or I'm surprised to hear you say that because I feel really good about this path. So thanks for your feedback. You don't have to let them get in your headspace. And that will stop them in their tracks. You don't want to mess with the King or the Queen of Swords. They are the strongest. And just say, it can be a boundary. That's not your business. I didn't ask for your feedback. And trust me, someone's just going to blink their eyes sometimes when you say that. Oh, okay. Thanks. That really doesn't resonate with me. You can try some of this. There are nicer ways to say it, but sometimes you have to be direct if somebody isn't listening. Okay? But the love letter part I like the most. And then get it in writing, folks. That's the last thing here. Get stuff in writing. Make sure you like what's being written as well. And if you don't, use your voice to the best of your capacity in the most elevated form, and sometimes be as direct as you need to be. Okay? So yeah, someone was saying it's saucy or juicy. It's just, I feel the energy that there could be someone who needs it to be direct. I tend to be really nice and really kind, but there's some times where you're like, we need to get this finished now. We need to get this sorted. Sometimes this happens when you're dealing with lots and lots of delays. And you can say, I have waited. We really need to find a solution today. And it's just being firm. And you can do it in a way that isn't too pushy. Again, my voice, I'm tired today. So that's part of the sauciness is that. Let's go ahead and meditate. And then let's get into one final card for today. So for today's meditation, I want to focus on clarity of vision, clarity of mind. And then we will get into that final question. So if you need one more piece of advice, hang around and we'll do that. But first, let's meditate. I'm going to click every single thing. You see what's coming through. All right, close your eyes. Let go of all the confusion, all the thoughts, all the energy, and just allow yourself to be present. Imagine that just like we saw the fog behind me, and it's still foggy, you can see it's hard to see the buildings and everything. Imagine that you're in San Francisco or a foggy destination, and you're watching the clouds roll away. The sun is shining. It's cutting through them like an ace of swords. And all around you now, you can see something new, something different. A moment ago, it was doom and gloom. Now, you see trees, you see flowers, you see people. You feel your heart warming up. You feel your mind clearing. You're seeing past the illusions, past the shadows. And in the distance, you see something that you've been wanting to see in your life. Imagine that there's a thread connecting you to that person, place, or thing that you're trying to manifest. And now know that you are on the right path, that you will start to pick up on signs, signals, and synchronicities that are going to help you get closer to that faster, in a more efficient way, provided that you tune in and trust yourself. Use one of those adjectives of positivity and put it on your own sort of energy. See yourself as beautiful, deserving, ready, and allow yourself to be receptive as well. And now take one last breath, knowing that all the clouds have cleared from the sky, all the doubt is cleared from your mind. Feel your feet firmly connected to the planet. Place your hands on your heart and open your eyes. Take a moment now and formulate that final question that you have for me. This is such a beautiful strength card and such a great way to wrap things up today. We have two figures in this card that are not struggling. So I always look at that. I'm like, is this going to be a struggle? Clash of the Titans? No, it's not. Remember on this card that we had power and ambition. The thing that you can do that's going to avoid the clash between power and that is basically slowing down. Each of you can shine in this moment. We have two cats because we have the leopard and we have the lion in this. So one of the things that you learn as you get older is there's no rush to get certain things done. Take your time, do it right the first time, get to know yourself and get to know the person that you're working with, because it does feel like partnership energy is very much a part of the strength card. And if you are careful and if you are calm, you can connect and it's not going to be messy. So take your time. particularly in a dance of creation or partnership. And there could be a Leo coming into your life. But this is also just you focusing on feeling your strength too. As a yes or no, it's yes, comma, but don't rush and don't force things. One thing that I've also learned the older that I get and the more that I work in my own business and things, if you want to make a connection with someone in business, it's the same sort of energy. You kind of throw out, it's like fishing, throw out the line, see if there's a bite. There is a bite. You don't want to yank too fast. You tug a little bit. It's back and forth. So it feels like this is a back and forth. And if it's meant to be, it will be. That's the big takeaway here. But you are absolutely strong enough, good enough, beautiful enough. Hopefully you're ready enough for this to happen. Actually, she's got her eyes closed. He's got his eyes open. So be open to the possibilities. Again, one of the most beautiful strength cards I think I've seen. I like the Lightseers deck because that one has like a lioness, but I love this. It kind of looks cinematic. And this is something that can last the test of time, but you have to take your time. That's the main thing here. Okay? I'm looking at the illustration. It's interesting too because it actually could be a male figure here because I'm looking at like what's an Adam's apple there. So the other thing here could be that the lioness, it could be a lioness, but we're looking beyond gender, age, and traditional roles. So the partnership has something about it that is maybe outwardly other people don't understand, but together the two of you can really bring something great. So I am getting partnership energy coming through for creative ventures, for business ventures, for personal development. So I feel like this could be a great week to open up to leaning on someone else. It's just your inner strength too, but I'm also seeing lots and lots of partnership potential, okay? You know I don't say it if I don't see it. That's not the focus on this channel, but I'm not gonna be blind to it if I see it, and I am seeing it, okay? Okay, yay. Thank you all for being present and being patient today. Sorry about it being unlisted. I'm glad we still got a decent amount of people showing up. Yeah, this was just a day where I was like, I hope I will feel good, and I did feel good enough today to be present to channel everything for you. So I appreciate your time, your presence, and your patience. Let's take a couple moments to extend some gratitude. First and foremost, it's very simple, but it helps. If you like this, subscribe, hit the bell icon for future notifications. And also, I post on social media, share my post where I say, hey, we're going to do the Weekend Collective. Let people know that this is something cool. There's a share option right below the video as well, so you can post it on X or Facebook or the, wherever you're sort of present in, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, speaking of all of those, you can give me a follow on social media. It's Nicholas Ashbaugh on all major platforms. You can go to my website if you ever need clarity on where I'm at and how to follow me. Keep in mind or keep aware that there are some imposters out there, and they typically try to do stuff over text, and I don't do that. So if you see anybody texting or trying to get you to do something in comments, that's not me. Just block, report, and be smart. And now let's move on to my favorite part, which is gratitude. Thanks to everybody that gave back. By the way, if you want to give back, you can do so with super stickers, super chat, and memberships. Let's talk about those who have been kind enough today to be gifted a membership or gift a membership, and then we'll move on to super stickers and super chat. All right, so here we go. Looks like we have a decent amount today too. So I'm going to just read first names. Apologies for any mispronunciations. I do my best. All right, The Film Maven, Lily, Dawn, Amy, Angie, Mermaid Crystal, Mikobi, Canadian Lavender, Balance 360, and Jet Marie. Thank you all for either rejoining, joining, or thanks to the people that gifted the membership. And to that end, I'm going to take a moment here to celebrate any sort of fan funding or anybody that had a anniversary here. So Tahoe, 39 months. Good to see you. I'm happy you enjoyed the new decks. I remember you tuning in during the pandemic. It's great to have you back. Thank you. And 11 months. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you enjoyed this. Let's see who's next. Cheryl, 36 months. Thank you very much. The first person that gifted today was Inksight 101. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Jackie, thank you for 42 months. That's a long time. I appreciate your presence here. And it is years of insight. So thank you. Thank you for the years of support. Colette, thank you for 5 memberships that you gifted to the viewers. And Mira for being a member for 1 month. Laura, thank you so much for being 14 months a member. All right, now let's take a look at all of those who gave in the form of super stickers or super chat. Let's see what we've got. Only a few, so this should be easy. So thank you to Jackie, Jeannie, and JC for your generosity. That was a lot of J words. All right, and this week I will continue with my daily videos. I'm probably going to take Monday off because I'm still not feeling well, and then I'll get back into the rest of the November readings. I think we have the first 3 for the next month ahead. Everything for October is already live. As we get closer to Halloween, I'll be announcing something special for that as well. I think we have Apollo behind me, so let's take a moment to look at Apollo. All right, so let's see if he's chilling out, having some fun. There we go. Thank you all for your time, your presence, and for being the best part of what I do here. Let's give him a little bit of a pet, too, before we leave today. Hey, buddy. Such a good dog. Yes, you are. Yes. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Thanks again to Dakota for letting me know that we needed to list this as a public video. Apologies on that. I hope everybody's doing great, and I'm going to go get some rest, guys. Take care. See you soon. All right? Have a good one. Much love and light from me. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.